All right. Lastly, not a lot of news this week,
Yep.
but we will talk about Palworld.
Yeah.
So literally everyone is playing Palworld. Like
Yep.
it came out, it's in beta still, and everyone is playing it. And it is essentially a 3D roaming Pokemon game, but not Pokemon because they're Pal. I don't know enough about it.
I don't know what they're called. Palymons.
Yep. But a lot of accusations to come out against them for using rip-off Pokemon and AI to generate some of their art.
Well, it's not so much rip-off Pokemon. It's more like they've sort of taken like the design or very similar designs to create their dudes.
They've essentially taken parts of Pokemon and slapped them onto all together to make different monsters.
In there, it's like inspired by would be probably what they say.
Yeah.
But it'll be like, the examples that's Barbie Elite on Twitter have, like, it'll show this pal, whatever they're called, pals, and it'll be like, this one has Sobble's fin on his head. And it's like, okay, there's a fin on this thing's head.
Yeah.
But it's like literally the exact design of this fin.
Yeah, the exact colors, the exact dimensions.
Well, not necessarily the colors. There's a lot of them that are recolored, but it's like the design is like...
The Sobble's fin is pretty much the exact color.
Well, Sobble's blue, though, but yeah. Yeah, maybe the yellow of the fin.
The yellow of the fin is almost the same.
But it's like they took the Sobble's fin and stuck it on this other I keep calling them Pokemon, but they're called Palymon. And like, okay, Mikey T said, you can't really... We talked about a bit before the show. Like, this one has Meowth's face on it. And he's like, well, you can't really, trademark jagged teeth and
in a smile.
In a smile, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah. It's as I said, it's like, oh, they could just say, oh, it's based off the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
But when you look at them side by side, it's like, yes.
Yeah. It's just a face swap because it's the same eyes, the same pupillary distance, the same pupil size.
Yeah.
The eyes are a little bit
color.
set further apart, but it's almost the exact same.
And it's on a cat like pal.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. But there's other ones too where it was like the one is like using the exact model of Sir Viper, just change color and added like other flourishes, like it has like a ribbon on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty blatant. So it almost looks like they like somehow got the models, like ripped them from like the Pokemon game and just like, take the head off of this one and slap it on this one. Because there's some like, they took Giratina's face, which is like a different style Pokemon. It's like more upright standing style Pokemon. But they took the head off of the Giratina and stuck it on this crab one as its little crab face. And I wish I had played the game before I saw this. Because I would be interested if I would have been like, oh, that thing has Meowth's face. Or like, that looks like this from Pokemon. Like
now, if you play it, you're just going to be looking for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm seeing it now. Like this one here, I would have been like, that's Cinderace, but like green. Like it's, changed a bit. It's like, here's my homework, but change it a little bit,
Yeah, just so it's not quite the same.
So is this going to be a bad news, like, for them?
Like, it all depends on how the Pokemon company approaches it.
They're not very litigious. There was a game a few years ago that came out that had all these lifted assets from Skyrim in it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was some fantasy game. It was, I don't know what it was called, Dance of the Dead or something like that. It was a terrible game. But people were like, look, they stole this from Skyrim and this and this and this and this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I probably will be trying this game out this week, I think. So I'll report back on my findings. It kind of looks like it would be up my alley, but it also kind of looks like, well, first of all, the guys that made this one, what are they called? Pocket Pals or something like that? I can't remember what the company is
something
called.
like that, Pocket Pals.
They made Craftopia, which we played, which was just a fucking disaster of a game.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it had a lot of cool ideas in it.
That was the problem. It was just like, they were like, throw everything in it.
Oh, yeah, it was the kitchen sink for sure.
Yeah, like any idea, they were like, yeah, we want that in there. Sure. And then everything was just like, oh, it's just not good.
No, they didn't. I mean, we did play it in the same state that Palworld is in beta.
Well, this game looks like it's better shape than
They probably took what they
Craftopia.
learned from Craftopia and slapped it into this, which I would assume that any good company would do.
This, but it looked a lot like Ark too.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no, it looks like Ark. Oh no.
I actually, when I was browsing through some of the stuff for our research chat, someone actually messaged me and was like, hey, you want to play some Palworld later?
Oh, sheesh. Yeah. It's been one I've been watching for a while, but I can tell why they only showed certain little pals off in their trailers before.
Yeah.
Because the ones they showed before were not like so obvious. Where these ones are like, whoa, baby.
Ah, they're just placeholders. They'll change it later, right? Still in on beta, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what they could say.
Yeah.
Or what they'll say is something like, oh, we outsourced these and we didn't know that they were using, inspired by Pokemon things. So we're updating our models and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I'm expecting Nintendo and Game Freak and the Pokemon Company they're preparing
they're sharpening their pencils.
They're doing something right now, I'm pretty sure. So
they're sharpening their pencils. They're getting their, making sure their I's and T's are dotted.
I really wish I would have played it just so I could have seen it with my own eyes before I see this. Because now that I've seen it, it's like, whoa, yeah, okay, I see what they're talking about here.
Yeah.
Even though you were poo-pooing it earlier.
Well, sometimes you got to poo-poo it before the show.
Just to rile me up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it worked.
You know me.
It worked. I was fully riled.
I like to devil's advocate.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes I'm like, really? This is what you're going to devil's advocate? Really? Yeah, Palworld.
It's a thing.
I think I'll check it out next week.